Bulldog fans, Larry Allen here at the KGAS studios, and to my left, Scott Surratt, the Bulldog head coach and athletic director, as we get ready for the Carthage Bulldog portion of Pigskin Preview, brought to you by Worthington Air Conditioning and Plumbing. All right, well, obviously no game to talk about from this past Friday night, and no game coming up this week, so we're going to start off by talking about the freshmen and the JV. So, Scott, they went up to Pleasant Grove last Thursday. In fact, I think they're going to play Pleasant Grove twice this year. And so tell us what happened last Thursday.
Our freshmen got it put on pretty good. You know, we played with them there for a little bit, and they had a move-in quarterback from Liberty Ilo that's really good, and he'd be on the varsity, but he got ruled ineligible for this year. Anyway, he's a really good player, and we couldn't catch him or tackle him very well. But other than that, I think we're getting better with that group. I think you'll see it. We made some personnel changes, and I think you'll see a better outing tonight. And then our JV won really big, 48 to, I don't know, they may have scored, I'm not sure, but it was another big win for our JV.
So that's 2 straight weeks. The JV is they just totally controlled. I mean, the victory over Kilgore was a big score too.
Yeah, that one was, I think, 48 or 49 to nothing, and you know, and it was close to what that was at Pleasant Grove. So it's a good group for us, and obviously we got some sophomores up, and so we're excited about that group.
And obviously, you know, at playing Pleasant Grove and at their place, that tells you had a tough opponent. Okay, let's talk about this week. Now, both the JV and the freshmen were to be off this week, and so you've been a busy man. You've scheduled the freshmen at Liberty Ilo tonight, and the JV are going to take on Wascom at Wascom tonight. So tell us how those came about.
Well, it's crazy, Larry. You know, we're sitting here. We knew about the freshmen. We agreed to play the freshman Liberty Ilo. We knew that going into Monday, so that one was good. We're playing those guys over there at 5 o'clock tonight, and if you're listening, you got to get your tickets online. We found that out just here about an hour and a half. So there are no tickets at the gate, and so this thing's been crazy. Everybody's been doing it, but the head coach, Dwosky Davis, a good friend of mine, he graduated the same year, and he was in our district at Queen City. And but he said he had no idea. Thought the JV we were doing tickets at the gate, so he had to send that to me. And so this has kind of been a mess, and but it just matches everything the year right now. But like I said, if you're listening and going to Liberty Ilo tonight, that you got to get your tickets online for the freshman game, and then Wascom. So we're sitting there, and so we call Wascom. All those tickets are at the gate for tonight. So it's different. And if you're going to Wascom, we have 300 capacity. There's only 3 of us, 300 that can go. And so the first 300 they're going to let in and buy at the gate. And so it is their varsity. It's our JV, and that got confused too. But no, it's our regular JV. It's not. We're not moving people down for it or up or whatever. It's a regular JV. We're proud of our JV, and we're going to see what they can do. And it'll be tough on them. It'll be tough just because Wascom runs that old triple option Air Force, and we didn't know about this till yesterday, so that hadn't even worked it yet. And we're gonna kind of walk them through during the period today was kind of that stuff, but all that's about being disciplined on defense, and you know they're very well polished. We have a tape on them, and they sent their tape of their first game against Garrison, which I think they won, 49 to nothing, and they're very well polished, and so it's going to be tough on our JV, but I guarantee you our JV will run to the ball and hit you. So, but one of these teams you need 3 days of preparation. We're going to get about 20 minutes walk through today. So. Not making an excuse. I'm just telling you facts. I know, and that stuff's hard to stop when you get a whole week to prepare. And like I said, we very little time, but we're gonna get after it. Then offensively, they run something we don't see much. We saw it against the Salina. It's a 10-1 defense. So we're seeing two an offense and a defense that we won't probably ever see the rest of the year, and hadn't seen yet. So it's going to be challenging, but I'm excited to see what they can do.
And I tell you what, Scott, this may be a first in the state of Texas, a first a JV game is going to be live streamed. So you can not only listen to it on the radio, you can watch it. And if you want to do that, go to easttexastoday.com and then click on KMHT. Click on the letters KMHT and then scroll down and click on the Wascom Wildcat mascot. Click on the mascot and then you should be able to watch the game if you're not going to go.
And I'm excited about that because I'm staying home for the junior high games tonight, and for a personal reason, and my son's playing, and then I'm going to get to watch our JV right after that. After the seventh grade game, I'll get to watch our JV play on live stream. So I'm excited about it being live streamed tonight. So.
All right, well, let's talk about the junior high. You've got two children. One of them, Addison, is now a freshman at OU. And here comes your second one, who was born just before you moved down here to Carthage back in 2007. So that means he would now be 13 years of age. And he is on the seventh grade team. This is a big moment. I know you and Summer are super excited. You got to be.
Well, we are super excited just to see him play because he's always wanted to play little league football, and I didn't think he was big enough to do it yet, and his body was mature enough, and he has grown 7 inches over the last year and gained some weight, so we'll see what he can do, and I'm excited to see him pop it around and see him as a leader and things of that nature of being a quarterback. So. I'm going to sit up in the stands and be a parent and just hope he don't mess up.
How hard is it going to be to sit up in the stands and not be down on the field?
Well, I know how hard it was to sit up in the stands, and I know no volleyball coach, that's for sure, but just to watch your kid play and just sit up there and try to relax and watch Addie play volleyball. So. Now, as a football coach, watching your son, it may be twice as hard just because I am a football coach. Because I didn't know a lot of the volleyball stuff went on. So, and Addie would tell me in a hurry, "Dad, you don't know what you're talking about." So I just sit up there and watched and was a cheerleader, so to speak. But hopefully I'll know a little bit more about this offense going on, and I think I'll be able to see if he's making mistakes or plays well or whatever. So. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting.
Now, the position that you are most known for, as far as specializing, would be on the quarterback. Look at the quarterbacks that we've had. My gosh, going all the way back to Cy Blacksher. So, how much have you worked with him?
A lot in golf, honestly, and just letting him go at his own pace at football. But here lately, we worked quite a bit because that's what he wants to do. During the pandemic, when we got shut down in football, we worked some, and then he got shut down with a shoulder injury. But he's 100%, and so but not a whole lot. Tons in golf, and just letting him be a kid right now.
Okay, I know you don't like to compare, but I'm going to ask you to do it. Compare him right now as a seventh grader with some. Does he compare favorably with some of our previous quarterbacks?
I think he's the best one we've ever had. No, I don't know. That's what I said. I think he can throw a football. I know that the Bullet kid can throw it, and so I think they'll both play. He does a pretty good job on his 3-step. But like I told Summer, my wife, I says we'll see how tough he is because hopefully a 3-step don't turn into a 33-step and with those big linemen chasing him. So we'll see. I think he'll do fine, but and Bullock will do well, and so we'll see.
All right. Speaking of the 33 linemen, the lineman chasing him 33 yards. What about his speed?
He runs well. He runs well. He does okay.
All right.
He's not no burner. He's not Carl Lewis or anybody.
Okay.
Some of these young guys don't even know who Carl Lewis is.
That's right. All right. Now, Scott, I tell you what, when I talk to fans, many of them don't know what you have gone through this year as far as scheduling. So I just want to give a real quick recap. Last year we had 5 non-district games. 3 of the 5 folks said, hey, we'll play you again. That's Marshall, Gilmer, and Pleasant Grove. The other 2 said no. So you had to get 2 replacements, and you came up with Crosby on August the 27th down at New Caney. That's a Thursday. And then Cornerstone, a private school from San Antonio, was going to come here. And then in the summer, of course, the UIL pushed back 5 and 6A, so that meant we lost Crosby and Marshall, and we also lost Cornerstone, so you needed 3 replacement games. You scheduled Kilgore, and of course we beat them August 28th, and you scheduled LCM on September the 11th, that's tomorrow. Then Laura came through, and we lost LCM. So now we're down, unless something happens, to an 8-game schedule and 3 straight weeks off. Boy, it's been quite a stretch there. So I want to ask you, how late, we have no game scheduled next week, how late next week would you schedule a game? And I'm thinking, yesterday Henderson found out that Kaufman was canceling for this Friday night. How late next week would you schedule one for next week?
Thursday.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we would just, kind of like our JV's doing tonight on Wascom, we would just, it's a crazy year. We would just scramble around. Our players need to play. Our coaches need to coach. Our fans want to watch games. Just we really would. We're not going to, on a Thursday, we wouldn't drive 6 hours to go play somewhere. Mm-hmm. But if we could find something, relatively close, or even Dallas, we probably would do it at this point. But hopefully we can find one quicker than that. But we had several opportunities this week, and they just didn't work out. And on the other side, so it's just crazy. It's one of these. Hopefully we'll never go through it again. But you know what? We're keeping a positive attitude about everything. We're getting better, number one. We feel like in practice we're getting better. We had some kids that didn't know how to practice, and we feel like they're learning how to practice. And, we're healthy for the most part. Montrell Hatton's still banged up a little knee. We think he'll be ready in a week or two now. And I think he'll be ready by at least Gilmer. And if he's not, then we've got to get an MRI and stuff. But we think everything's solid, and his knee is just swole up a little bit on him. But so we got a positive outlook. I told the players yesterday, if I know everything, it looks bleak right now, not having games and stuff. But if we'd have told you guys before the season that we're going to get 8 games in, we'd have taken it. I'm talking about eight regular season games in counting districts. So that's our hope and prayer, that we get those 8 and move into the playoffs. And we'd all taken that before the season. We wouldn't have taken this month between games. That's just the way it worked out with, like you told me, Hurricane Laura come through. But we're going to make it through this and continue to get better and and just, Lord willing, that we can get this virus out of here and get to play football the rest of the year.
Now, I'm going to give you another what-if question. Next week, okay, if you schedule one on Thursday, would you be willing to play on Friday, or would you lean towards Saturday? I know you don't like Saturday games.
Either way. I mean, we'd rather play Friday, honestly. We've been practicing long enough.
Yeah.
Even though it would be maybe a different – we especially offensively. I take that defensively too. We rerun everything, every kind of offense, where it's wing T principles, slot T principles, everything we run. So our defense is ready to go, and we could adjust on the run. And then defensively, we see everything. I mean, 3 down, 4 down, 10-1, it don't matter what. You can draw it up. Coach Preston dials it up. We see more blitzes and corner blitzes, safety blitzes, crazy blitzes, anything you can dial up, we see. Not that we'll be prepared or we will execute them perfect in a game, but we've seen them. And so we would rather just go ahead and play on Friday, honestly, because we've got to get ready next week for Gilmer.
All right.
Which we've been working on a little bit of Gilmer and a little bit of Pleasant Grove, because we've been open all this time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. Now, speaking of practice, tell us what you've seen that you said we're getting better. Give us some areas where we are improving, offensively and defensively.
Well, I think we're getting better in the offensive line. We've made some adjustments in there and some personnel changes, and so I think we have gotten better. And and then defensively, we've made a change or two, but the main thing is they're getting more reps, varsity speed. We've been going a lot of one-on-ones, and so I think we've gotten better on both sides. I think we've gotten better in the kicking game. I know our kickers have gotten better. I know we call him Johnny, Jonathan, won the kickoff yesterday, and he hit one. It would have been good from 55 and field goal. And so we are getting better, and we just need to play.
All right, last thing here, chalk talk.
We're going to do a chalk talk next Monday, and whether we have we're not have a game, but we may go over Kilgore and go over some things and go over our plans for the year and that kind of stuff. So we are going to have it. It's not going to be any food. You have to have a mask coming in and all that stuff, but that's a great thing. It's always been a great thing, and I've had tons of people ask me, and I says, well, it's always the first Monday after Labor Day. And my God, we're going to do it again. I already told Mr. Wink, and he said, let's do it. So that's great.
All right, so again, to recap what Scott just said, make sure you bring your mask, and also there will be no food.
And they can bring their food. You can bring food,
but but no food will be provided that you pay for.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, so those are the words of head coach Scott Surratt. Remember, Thursday night, JV at Wascom. I believe it's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Is that right?
7 o'clock. And then the freshmen start at 5 at LE.
All right, very good. And so remember, you can go to Wascom. Now, at Wascom, again, those are tickets at the gate.
At the gate.
Okay. Liberty ILO, no tickets at the gate.
Got to buy them online.
Okay. Hope you've got that. And remember that if you don't want to drive over to Wascom, I tell you what, you can come out and watch the junior high games. We start at 4:30 with 7th B and then 7th A and then 8th A, 8B. Now, you're not going to be finished by 7 o'clock when the Wascom game starts, but you can come on out and watch that and then go home and watch the end of the JV and the Wascom Wildcats. All right, for Coach Surratt, I'm Larry Allen, wishing you a great weekend.